Hello and good morning. How's everybody doing today? This is Rich Harshaw, and we're here for our tactical slash contractor business accelerator webinar today. And we're going to cover the topic of whiteboard video. Now, what I'm going to do as we go through this is I'm going to show you a little bit of behind the scenes of what this is all about, how we do it, why we do it, how it's produced, and what you can expect as you put these things together. You've probably heard me talking about this some. I've blogged about it a little bit. We've made a couple of offers out there. And something that's just really kind of getting off the ground with us over here at MYM. But I did want to spend just a few minutes. It'll be a short webinar today, probably no more than about a half hour at the most. So I'm going to just go through this very quickly, showing you some of the steps, how we put these together, and then I'll play for you a few of the videos. So with that being said, let's go ahead and test our technology, make sure it's working okay. And it is. So the first question is, why do we want videos on your website in the first place? And then we'll transition that into why an explainer video, and I'll explain what an explainer video is. Maybe I should have an explainer video explaining what an explainer video is. So first of all, it's just a good way to get web visitors engaged, showcase your identity in a fun, engaging way. We do have to be careful with web video. We don't want to put web video in place of a written description, and we don't want to put web video in a place where people were expecting to find a written web description. That being said, it can be a good way to increase engagement and get people to really understand, who and what you're all about. Also good for product demonstrations if you've got certain types of products. If you're a window company or siding company, it's a good way to take things about the attributes of the product and showcase those. Videos are usually anywhere from about 1 to 4 minutes in length. There's no hard, fast rule on that. I'm not a big proponent of people saying videos have to be a certain length. I think videos need to be at whatever length they need to be. Movies are generally 2 hours, and people find the time to watch them. Why is that? Well, it's because it's interesting for 2 hours. There's only such things as interesting and relevant and uninteresting and irrelevant to a person's situation. And as long as we can maintain an interest and a relevancy in the content that's being presented in the video, then we can make these videos as long as they need to be. That being said, we generally try to keep them to about 3 minutes for the whiteboard videos for a couple of reasons. Number one, we can generally sum up what we want to talk about in these situations in about 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. And generally, there's a cost element involved as well, because it does cost money to create these videos. So if you want to have a 25-minute video, that's great. It's probably going to cost you a little bit more money, though. It is a good way also to improve your search rankings. We all know that Google loves video content. They actually own YouTube. They can read the voice content and edit and index it, so they know what is the content. They, being Google, knows what the content is of the video that you produce. So this is just a good search tool. It's going to help you go up in the rankings. We've seen situations where doing all things equal, nerd coding a website for SEO, and then putting a video versus not putting a video has had tremendous positive impact on some companies. Key, like anything else with a video, is you want fresh, unique content. You don't want just videos. I've seen this a lot too, where companies will jam a bunch of videos, maybe some quote-unquote stock videos that they got from their manufacturer, and they think, well, we're going to just put these videos on here, and because they're videos, therefore they're going to be awesome, and people are going to like them, and our search rankings are going to go up and all that kind of stuff. The reality is what we want is we want fresh, unique content that actually makes people want to watch it, okay? Video can become a secret weapon in marketing, and there's different kinds of videos. So let's talk about what an explainer is. It uses illustrations, animations, and voiceovers instead of live video. Typically, you think of a video, you think of somebody with a video camera that is filming somebody doing something, whether they're on camera just talking or making a demonstration, showing products, filming homeowners who are satisfied, whatnot. That's what you think of a lot of times when you think of video. An explainer video uses animation, uses illustration, and it uses a voiceover instead of a live person on camera talking. Here's why. It's cheaper and easier to produce than live video. A lot easier and a lot cheaper to produce than live video. If you'd use live video, it requires travel, there's scheduling. I put on the slide regret and awfulness. The reality is it's just harder to do. Doesn't mean that it's not good and you shouldn't do it and you shouldn't look into it, but it's just harder for us at Monopolize Your Marketplace to coordinate that. For us to pull that off, we'd have to do one of two things. Number one, we'd have to send a film crew from somewhere that we're familiar with, travel to various places around the country to film our clients. And you start throwing travel into a film budget, and it starts to get very, very expensive. Second way we could do that is hire local film crews that didn't have to have their travel paid, but then you start getting into situations where you're not familiar with the crew. You don't know what you're going to get, and that's not good either. So we've put together a team of people that can put together these explainer videos, and it's a really nice fit for the cost. You know, video, no matter how you slice it, it's not going to be the cheapest thing in the world to produce. Well, I take that back. You can produce videos yourself with a camcorder or an iPhone or something like that, and I think there's definitely a time and a place for those kinds of videos. There's also a time and a place for more professionally produced video, and that's what I'm speaking about now. And this is a good medium between having maybe sort of a crummy homemade, but sometimes still effective video that you create yourself and a higher end professional live action video. This is a good way to sort of meet in the middle. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Live video still is going to need a lot of graphics anyway. Just to give you an idea, we create television commercials for one of my clients. We create commercials, 3 or 4 times a year. And as we create these videos, it's amazing. If you've got somebody live on the camera and it's a 30-second commercial, that person might only be live on the camera for, anywhere from 6 to 10 seconds out of the 30 seconds. The other 20 to 24 seconds are B-roll and title boards, B-roll being background shots, showing, people, showing the company interacting with the homeowner or dramatizing, installing a product or whatever the case is, whatever's appropriate for that particular commercial. So you're going to need a lot of graphics anyway. This is just an easier way to get it done. Explainer videos can be created 100% remotely without any kind of live video shooting. In fact, we don't shoot any live stuff for these. Live video can be inserted into an explainer video, but that's generally not what we're doing. Explainer videos come in a variety of styles. So I'll just show you a couple of pictures of different styles, and these are just a few styles. There's lots of different styles. But here's just some screenshots that I took from some explainer videos from around the internet. If you want to look at some yourself, feel free to go and Google the word explainer videos, and you'll see, hundreds, if not thousands, of examples. So here's one that is dramatizing, following up with the customer. Hey, you're a couple weeks past due. Is the check in the mail? And it's dramatizing it. And you've got this sort of crayon-looking drawing, and you got this envelope. Here's another one. This is for, I can't remember who this is for. The logo's up there in the right-hand corner, but I can't read it. This is an illustration style, sort of similar to what we're talking about, but it's got a lot of different colored backgrounds and some other kinds of things. This is a pretty common style here where you've got these sort of stylized illustrated characters. And none of these are what we're talking about. Not that there's anything wrong with these, but at the end of the day, as we look at creating these types of videos for our clients, it's very important for us to be able to systematize things. And in reality, I'll just put it out there. Maybe it sounds a little bit weird, but we're trying to remove choice so that we can increase the quality of the thing that we do choose. It's like a restaurant. Instead of having 20 different menu items, it has one item that they do really, really well. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here. Is it possible that we could add more styles in the future? It's possible, but I don't see that in the near-term horizon. What we're talking about is a whiteboard style. It has the appearance of a real hand writing on a whiteboard, usually with a Sharpie marker. Creates an interesting dynamic. It's interesting to look at. It's fun to watch, keeps the viewer's attention. As the picture is being drawn, the viewer sort of anticipates what's being drawn. They're listening to the voiceover. And I like whiteboard video because it really does force you to simplify the discussion, put it in the plainest terms possible so that people can understand it. Lots of flexibility in illustration. You've probably noticed that Monopolize Your Marketplace in 2014, we've started using illustrations for all of our blog postings. You know, this is a decision that I made going back to late last year, knowing that this year we were going to get very heavy into creating and posting blogs. And there's always that challenge. I mean, think about the challenge. If you're going to post in a given year 100 to 120 different blog postings, and you're going to do that for years on end, let's just look at a 3-year cycle. You've got maybe 350 illustrations that are needed. And when you start pulling stock images, trying to illustrate concepts that you're talking about in your blog postings, it becomes very hard to find things, images, illustrations that really capture what you're trying to say. And I found myself very frequently saying to myself, man, I wish I could just have a picture of X, whatever X is. And I've worked with an illustrator, the one that does our stuff now. I've worked with them for several years on a couple projects here and there, and struck a deal with them. Now, I'm only telling you all of this because I want you to understand this concept. It's called flexibility in the images that you can show. And I love the ability to really draw anything we want to illustrate points. Okay, it's kind of fun. It's like movies now are so much better because they've got computer-generated artwork. So you can, like if you saw the recent second movie of Planet of the Apes, it's amazing how realistic they make these characters that don't exist in real life, but they interact with the live characters. Now, this is obviously completely different. The point being that we have the ability to show and illustrate whatever it is we want with this style. Okay, really easy for viewers to get the point. So this is what I'm talking about: simple drawings that uses this type of a style. We do use some elements of color. You'll see that as I show you some examples here in just a couple of minutes. But the reality is it's a very simple style. The hand comes on and draws. Now, you might be wondering, how does this work? There's computer programs that illustrate. So what we do is we take an illustration, and you can program the computer program, you know, where it starts and how it appears to be drawing these things. It's all done very easily with computer animation. Okay. This just gives you an idea of some of the things that we're talking about, and I'll show you some samples of this here in just a minute. Let me show you what the steps are to creating this type of video, and then I'll show you some samples that we've done here at MYM. Okay, so I'll put them all on the screen here, and then I'll walk you through the steps. So we do a content meeting with the client. We go through a script creation process and an approval process. Got to make sure we're all on the same page, because after the script is approved, then we start going to all these other steps, including storyboarding, illustrations, voiceover, background music, and then putting all that stuff together and animating it. And it's critical that we have the script approved before we go to these other areas, okay? So let's look at the client meeting. Discussion is led by the same person, the same senior copywriter that you've worked with for your identity and for your website. So whoever that is, that's who you'll be working with. The reason is they're the person that's the most familiar with your company, the nuances of your company. They are going to sit down and talk to you about what do you want to focus on. What we typically recommend you focus on first is identity, an identity-based video that really gives sort of a snapshot of your company, the most important things that we want people to know. We also can do videos on products, and I'll show you videos that we've created for both of these things. If there's something else in your business that you want to focus on, we can certainly do that too. Maybe it's a video about your warranties. Maybe it's a video about your sales process. Maybe it's a video about your customers being happy. Whatever it is, we can illustrate it and create it and make it into a video. So we'll lead the discussion when we sit down and talk to you, find out exactly what needs to go into the video, okay? Then we create a script. okay? First draft, we use our typical process: first draft, second draft, final draft. The reason we use that process, in case you're not familiar, is we've got to make sure that there's definite lines in the sand of once we cross this threshold, we can't make changes without charging you, our client, more, because we've got to be able to go to production at some point, okay? Generally, there's going to be 167 words per minute, which means for a 3-minute video, we're going to look for about 475 to 525 words, so about 500 words for a 3-minute video. Powerful, precise, passionate language, you know, that's the MYM way. So let me give you a look. You'll see that this particular video script is 675 words, which is more than 3 minutes, and that's because we wrote this when we were still working out the word counts. And we found that there's some variation, and you know, we're kind of honing this in. But give you an idea, this is one about a roofing company, and you'll see that this particular video is about roofing. So as you think about hiring a roofing company, think about the number 50, as in 50 years. 50 is a really, really long time. Can you even imagine the world 50 years from now? Will we finally have those futuristic flying cars? Maybe then we'll have a cure for cancer and we'll have wiped out poverty. Who knows? Maybe the Lions will win a championship by then. Now that's a local reference, because this company is actually in Canada. Oh, actually, this is not in Canada. That's a different one. Sorry, this is a company that's in the Detroit area. Okay, so just a local flair there. But here's one thing you can take to your bank: that your Owens Corning roof installed by Martino Home Improvement will last for 50 years, not 5 years, not 25 years, 50 full years. Let's be real. There are hundreds of roofing companies out there, some of them pretty good, others not so much. And it goes on. You can read this. Not that it's critical that you read it right now, but you get an idea. Put together a script. This particular script is 2 pages long. Again, the word count turned out to be a little bit long for our purposes, but nevertheless, there it is. Once this is approved, you'll see this was the final draft. The first draft that you see will say first draft, and then you'll see second draft, and you'll see final draft. Then we take it and we start going into production, starting with storyboarding. Now, at this point, the MYM Explainer video project is going to be turned over to our explainer coordinator, and his name is Chad Miller. Hey, Chad, how you doing? And he has other roles and duties that monopolize your marketplace, but he's very good at handling this whole process. So it gets turned over to him. At that point forward, you won't have any contact with your senior copywriter on this particular project, and he's going to create the storyboard for the video. This is a visualization of the right illustrations that go with the video. Sometimes we'll use literal interpretations of things being said on the video script. Sometimes they'll be more figurative, okay? Let's take a look. So what we do is we take the final draft of the script, and we drop it into this format. On the left is the script, and then you'll see that it's broken up. And on the right-hand side, we put the descriptions of what we want to go into the video. So the left-hand side, it says, as you think about hiring a roofing company, think about the number 50, as in 50 years. Draw a house from a slightly top-down angle to showcase the roof of the house. A yard, a family to the left of the house, write in block numbers and letters 50 years. And then underneath of that, as we talked about how long is 50 years and futuristic flying cars and a cure for cancer, here's what we put. Under 50 years, draw a flip clock starting at 0 for reference. And then we give the illustrator an idea of what that flip clock looks like. We could click on that, but it's actually a PDF, so we can't. Through the next paragraph, run the clock up to 50 as you erase the house and family and draw small images, scenes on the rest of the screen. Futuristic flying car, cross-section of an organ with a white blood cell eating a cancer cell, money growing in stacks, then erase and draw a lion walking upright holding the Super Bowl, holding a trophy above his head. Use the colors on these scenes: blue car, red and black cancer scene, green money, brown lion, and let's sync up the reveal of each drawing with the audio. So in other words, we're giving our illustrators and our animators very specific ideas of what it is they are to draw, and then we're also letting the animators know how it syncs up. So this is a twofold document. Number one, it lets the illustrators know what things need to be drawn, And then number two, it lets the animators know how to sync it all up with the words on that are going to be spoken on the voiceover. Okay, so this continues. This is actually, you remember the script was 2 pages. This is actually 4 pages. I'm only going to show you the first 2 because it doesn't really matter, but this gives you an idea. This is a fairly complex, involved process. Okay, and you'll see over here that we erase the scenes and then we draw new pictures, erase the scene, draw our contractor, polo shirt, best logo, khakis, draw them dead center, hands on his hips, et cetera, okay? And of course, these can all be customized to your company. So if we want your logos to be involved or whatnot, those obviously can be incorporated. The next thing is the illustrations. So we take those storyboards, we send them to the illustrator. They'll create a first draft of the illustrations. You're not going to see this draft. Then we'll give them feedback and they'll fine tune it. The reason that you're not going to see it is because we've got this process down to where we've got a pretty good idea. You'll see it at some point, but we're not going to show you all the preliminary versions of this stuff. So let's take a look. Storyboards look basically just like this. So you can see we've got the house drawn from the angle, we've got the family, and you'll notice that these are very rough drawings because we don't want our illustrators to commit to all the finer details until we approve that, yeah, that's what we're looking for. So then in the second one, you see it says 50 years. We got the stack of money. We've got the virus that's eating the cancer, and we've got the flying car. Then we've got the lion holding the Super Bowl trophy. And we've got the sun and the rain and the moon and the rain and some birds, 50 years. And again, remember, that's going to sync up with the voiceover that says 50 years. Okay, then we've got some bad contractors. Okay, then we've got the good contractor, and you look at his heart, and it says Owen Corning because that's the brand. You go to the next, okay, and this gives you an idea. We didn't go through the rest of this, so you're not sure really necessarily what these other elements are because we didn't review them, but you'll see them when we go through the whole video, okay? The next step after we approve that is we have them draw them in detail, and then we create the voiceover and the music. We have an authoritative, friendly voice that we use that works for about 90% of the videos that we create. If you want something different, we can accommodate that. It's totally up to you, but we've used the same voiceover for all the videos. Now, I have had some people say, well, that guy's voiceover sounds a little bit generic. Number one, I don't really agree with that. I think that we could choose potentially more hipper, more what's the right word? Maybe voice inflection kind of a guy. I made a very specific choice with this voiceover talent that we use. And the voiceover choice I've chosen, it sounds redundant, is trying to strike the following balance. Number one, we want somebody that has good inflection, understands how to read a script so that it sounds right, so that the power, passion, and precision comes out in his voice. But also, we don't want it to sound so informal. We want it to still sound professional, like they would probably expect to hear on a video on your website. So I'll show you that voice here in just a second, but that's what we're trying to do. If you'd rather have a female voice, that's okay. We can accommodate that. If for some reason you wanted to put your own voice on there, that could be accommodated. We've got thousands of different voices to choose from. It's not that hard to find it. If you go away from our normal standard voice, there may or may not be an upcharge for other voices. Just depends on what you want. That's certainly something you could talk to our explainer coordinator about. The background music is typically light, airy, and upbeat. I'll show you what that sounds like here in just a second. Well, I think that's my cue to show you what that sounds like. So let me pull this up over here. All right, so I'm going to share with you a couple of sounds here, and let's see what you think, okay? The first thing I'm going to share with you is simply some of the music. Now, when you hear this music, don't think automatically, oh, well, that's exactly what it always sounds like. We've got multiple tracks that you can choose from. We'll let you choose. But this is kind of what we're going for, is this kind of a sound. All right, I'll use that as my background music. Actually, I won't. And let me give you an idea of what our voiceover guy sounds like, and then I will put the two together so you can see what that sounds like. Let me go over here. All right, here we go.
Okay, so a metal roof, a permanent roof, is a better solution than asphalt shingles. So, what kind of metal roof should you buy? You have to be careful. Not all metal roofs are created equal. While it's true that just about any metal roof is better than a shingled roof.
Okay, and here we go all together.
Okay, so a metal roof, a permanent roof, is a better solution than asphalt shingles. So, what kind of metal roof should you buy? You have to be careful. Not all metal roofs are created equal.
All right, now all of that's going on before we actually animate. So let's start to animate, putting it all together. So that was steps 5 and 6. Let's go to step 7, putting it all together. Once we approve the illustrations, have our animation team put it all together, syncing up the voice with the illustrations, including animations when and where appropriate. So generally, we're going to have in the neighborhood of about 8 to 10 different illustrations and animations per minute, okay? Usually this is going to take a couple rounds of revisions. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Martino video. Now, this is a little bit of a challenge. And when we post this video on our member website, I will make sure that we post links to these so you can just watch these videos yourself instead of, you know, watching this video of this webinar, because inevitably there's a little bit of lag. So please understand as you're watching this video of this video, if you understand what I'm saying. This is like Inception, where you got a dream inside a dream inside a dream. But you're going to be watching a video of this video. It may have some lag time, so you may want to just go click these links direct and watch them. So here we go. We're going to watch a couple.
As you think about hiring a roofing company, think about the number 50, as in 50 years. 50 years is a really, really long time. Can you even imagine the world 50 years from now? Will we finally have those futuristic flying cars? Maybe by then we'll have a cure for cancer, and we'll have wiped out poverty. Who knows? Maybe the Lions will win a championship by then. But here's one thing you can take to the bank. Your Owens Corning roof installed by Martino Home Improvements will last for 50 years. Not 5 years, not 25 years, 50 full years. Let's be real. There are hundreds of roofing companies out there. Some of them are pretty good. Others, not so much. All of them, of course, say they're awesome and they do a great job. And lots of them say they offer big, long warranties, even though in reality, many of those warranties have more holes in them than Swiss cheese. Given the fact that 80% of what goes into a roof is not visible to the naked eye when the roof is completed, how can you really tell who you can trust and who's just full of hot air? Actually, it's pretty simple. Just look to see how they are certified by the manufacturer of the roofing materials they use. Martino, we have been designated an Owens Corning Platinum Certified contractor. Platinum Certified. It's the highest designation Owens Corning hands out. And it means that we are authorized to offer a factory-backed 50-year non-prorated warranty on your roof. But not just the materials, also on the workmanship. Let me help you understand what a big deal that is. Less than 1% of all roofers qualify for Platinum Certified. Only the contractors that use the highest quality materials and have the installation expertise to do it right every time earn this designation. That's right. It's earned. That's because we do everything 100% by the book. If a certain type of shingle calls for 5 nails instead of 4, we put exactly 5 nails into that shingle. If a roof has to have a certain thickness of underlying felt to qualify for a warranty, we use the exact right felt. If the shingles are to be spaced at a precise distance, we don't fudge it. The sad truth is that many roofers will cut corners to save time and money. Any one of the shortcuts might not seem like a big deal, but trust me, it's a big deal. When a roofer uses the wrong caliber shingle and spaces them out too much, and uses the wrong kind and wrong number of nails and the wrong felt and hires untrained workers off the street corner, well, you get a roof that is supposed to last 50 years that only lasts 10 years, or 7, or 5, or even less. So if you want the highest quality materials protecting your home, Martino Home Improvements. Want it installed by the book, Martino Home Improvements. Want factory certified installers who know exactly what they're doing? Martino Home Improvements. Want 5 nails per shingle instead of 4? Martino Home Improvements. Want friendly workers who you can trust around your family? Martino Home Improvements. Hate shortcuts, corner cutting, and unpleasant surprises? Martino Home Improvements. Want a company with a 30-year track record? Martino Home Improvements. Want your roof inspected every 2 years for the rest of your life? Martino Home Improvements. And most of all, do you want your roof to last for 50 full years? No exceptions, no excuses. Martino Home Improvements. Call Martino Home Improvements for your roof. We're the only roofer in the area that's platinum certified by Owens Corning. That means we offer a 50-year labor and material warranty. 50 years, not 5, not 25, 50 years. We can do that because we know how to do it right the first time. Our number is 248-629-9260. Or visit us online at martinocompanies.com. That's 248-629-9260. Or online at martinocompanies.com.
All right, so there's sample number 1. Let's move over to sample number 2. Let's try, we don't need to do all of these. Let's do Timberland. This will give you an idea of more of an identity-based one, okay?
Hi, welcome to Timberland Exteriors. First of all, know, right up front, that we don't view remodeling your home as just a job. We consider it an honor. That's because we honestly love what we do. Yeah, it might sound a little weird to say we love remodeling, but when you get to know us, you'll see it's that love that compels us to consider even the smallest details of your project. Because let's face it, there are lots of remodelers out there, and many of them are competing based on offering the lowest prices. Sure, nobody wants to pay more money than they have to, but let's be real. When it comes to remodeling, you're absolutely going to get what you pay for. So yeah, we're not always going to be the cheapest, but here's an ironclad promise. We're always, and I mean always, going to be the best and easiest to work with. First of all, we only install the best quality products on the market. We found out a long time ago that cheap products make for a fast sale and unhappy customers later. We just don't do that. We insist on the best, but we also know that no two homes are alike. That's why we take the time to research which products are exactly right for your project. So whether you need new siding, windows, or roofing, you can rest assured that we will install superior materials that fits perfectly with your home. And we don't go cheap on installation either. In fact, it's where we really shine. We literally leave no stone unturned. All those small $2 details that are often missed during installation are details we see as essential. We understand you're investing your hard-earned money into our job performance, so we go to great lengths to ensure you get the hands-down best value for your dollar. All of this allows us to offer the best warranties in the business, bar none. A lot of lifetime warranties are anything but. Honestly, most of them have loopholes big enough to drive one of our yellow Ford F-150s through. Our warranties vary by product, but hear this loud and clear. Our warranties have backbone. Our warranties have teeth. We give a full lifetime labor warranty on all projects. Our competitors laugh. They say we're stupid to take on future liability. We couldn't disagree more. If we do the job right, down to the detail, then it will last a lifetime. Where's the risk in that? And on top of all that, we're actually really nice people too. We have zero tolerance for sales pressure. We believe in customer education, not obnoxious solicitation. We show up when we say we will. We clean up our job sites. And if we ever mess something up, hey, it happens. We admit it and fix it. No finger pointing, no blaming, no whining. We respect you and your home too much to play those games. So if that sounds like the kind of company you'd like to do business with, We'd be honored to have the opportunity to work with you. Thanks again for visiting our website. We can't wait to meet you in person.
All righty. And let's just watch one more, and then we'll call it a day. Actually, we'll take some questions. We're going to watch high-grade roofing. This is a two-part video. It's a metal roofing company. The first part of the video talks about why you want metal roofing. The second part of the video talks about why you would want to buy it from this company. So it's an identity, and then it's a sales presentation on why they're different and better. Okay, so let's take a look.
If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. When people find out that, yes, permanent roofing costs more up front than regular roofing, they almost always say they love the way it looks, but that it costs too much. Fair enough, I guess, if the only thing you know about permanent steel roofing is that it looks great and costs more than shingles. But there is so much more to the story than just looks and the price. That's what this short video is for, to give you the facts about permanent roofing so you can make an intelligent choice. Because the bottom line is simple. If you plan on staying in your home for 5 or more years, a permanent roof is the only intelligent choice. Let's start with an analogy. Take a normal car that costs about $25,000 brand new. That car will look good, but not great. We'll get average gas mileage. We'll be prone to normal wear and tear, and will last about 150,000 kilometers before it begins to need serious repairs. Sound about right? Now let's say that I have a different car that you can buy. This one is more expensive, at least up front. But what if the second car looked absolutely stunning, and instead of getting 9 liters per 100 clicks, it got 5? What if this car never got dents? The paint job never faded, never lost any resale value, and never needed any kind of repair or maintenance for 50 or 100 years? Would you at least be interested? Welcome to the world of permanent metal roofing. Permanent roofs are exactly what the name implies. They are permanent. They never have to be repaired or replaced. They just sit there looking fabulous for generations. Regular asphalt roofs are usually warranted for 20 to 40 years. But in real life, in Canada, seriously, they're only lasting for 5 to 10 years. Think about that. Over 50 years, you'd have to replace a shingled roof 5 to 10 times. With metal, well, never. There are also other important benefits. For instance, a metal roof can't catch on fire, which dramatically increases the chance of saving your home in a fire. Asphalt roofs, they're petroleum-based. Not good. Metal roofs also look fantastic. They come in multiple colors and enhance your home's curb appeal, which has been proven to raise your home's resale value. You'll also save money on your energy bills, as much as 40%, which adds up to hundreds of dollars per year, and thousands over the life of your home and metal roof. And if you're the environmental type, you'll love metal roofs. A beautiful new metal roof made of recycled steel and is recyclable can be installed right over your existing roof. And since you won't be replacing it every 5 to 10 years like with asphalt, you'll be keeping literal tons of shingles out of our landfills. So if you plan on being in your home for more than 5 years, clearly a metal roof is a superior value no matter how you slice it. It's going to look better, last longer, a lot longer, save you money on your energy bills, increase your home value, and help save the planet. The next step, give us a call to discuss your particular situation and needs. We'd be honored to have the opportunity to help you out.
Okay, so then if you wanted to go on and watch the other video, it talks about why high-grade metal roofing is better than other brands and types and styles of metal roofing. And I think that's about it. Let me check here. Let's go through a little bit of FAQ. So question number 1, how long does it take? They think it's about 2 months from start to finish to put these together. Sorry about that. It takes us about 2 months. Can go a little bit faster, a little bit slower, but that's how long we need to sit down with you, go through the scripting, again, the whole process of storyboarding, illustrations, voiceover, choosing the music, animating it. It just takes a little bit of time. How much does it cost? Our client price is $3,000 for a 3-minute video. We've had a special offer in the past that we'll make available again now, which is 3 videos for $6,000. It's a total of 9 minutes. So if you wanted to have a 2-minute video and a 4-minute video and a 3-minute video, that can be accommodated. That's a 9 total minutes. There definitely is a economy of scale on these projects. For us to do 9 minutes is more cost efficient than doing 3 separate projects of 3 minutes each. So that's why we'll give you a little bit of a break there. In fact, it's a pretty decent break. It's essentially buy 2, get 1 for free. If you're not a client of ours, and by client I mean a bundled member, a bundled client, we've called our memberships in the past, but a bundled client where we're doing your web project and so forth, then these prices are 25% higher than what's shown on the screen right now. What should I start with? Well, start with your identity or product-specific videos or whatever is interesting or whatever you feel like you want to talk about. How do you get started? Give us a call and let us know. You can talk to Dale Goree in our fulfillment department, and he can get you started on that. If you would like to talk to your senior copywriter that you're currently working with on other projects like web projects, you can ask them. And it's just that easy. Just give us a call over at our office, email us, whatever you'd like to do. That's how we get started. So here's what I'm going to do. Those are the basic FAQs. Let me open this call up to you guys. And if you've got any other questions, then I'd be happy to take those right now. If we don't have any, then we'll consider this the end of the webinar, and I'll let you go. So I'll take any questions that you might have. You can type them in to the into the box right now. Okay. And I don't see any questions. So apparently we don't have any questions. All right, fairly straightforward. I want to thank you for being on the webinar today, and we will be back with you next time. Thanks so much. Bye now.